Leroy, get in here. Looks like there's another one of them vampires. It kind of looks like that JoJo Bone guy on the radio over there in Texas. Don't worry, darling. Shit, his teeth ain't sharp enough to even puncture your skin. Now go on down and donate some blood at the... That way they ain't gotta come here, and take it from us. Howdy, folks. Well, now you see me. And, let me see here. Well, where to do with it there? Well, now you see me, and now you don't. Because I haven't shaved, and I'm still kind of suffering from lingering COVID and asthma problems, and I have a lisp because I don't have my false teeth in right now. I'm going to have to do some dental surgery so I can speak properly. But aside from the lisp that I have, I figured this would be a good time to do a deep dive into the UFO topic. Ooh, those scary little alien dudes. Well, yeah, they're kind of creepy. The idea that some little alien critter can implant something in your body and drive your body around like it's a remote control in 1975, to have this technology in 1975, and also, to pass people through solid brick walls or through the roof, or to lift a car completely off the ground, or to smash a sheriff's car, which this is a case that happened somewhere in Wisconsin or somewhere. And they still have this damaged sheriff's car on display in some UFO museum somewhere. So, it's going to be somewhat related to the UFO topic, and but more about the security implications, national security implications for the USA regarding this topic, but more particularly to cyber defense, regarding the ongoing cyber war that we're in, worldwide cyber war. So this is going to be a deep dive into the Senate hearing 115-418 from the U.S. Government Publishing Office. So this is information that apparently I am allowed to see. And of course, because this was our Congress people. But I think, just the average American who really is maybe riding the fence on UFOs or Russian aggression in all phases of our national security might be interested, in this kind of stuff here, cyber defense. So the title of this Senate hearing is Foreign Cyber Threats to the United States. So I'm going to start reading now, and this might get kind of boring or monotonous to some of you folks out there that aren't really into the deep dives into this kind of thing. But hey, just entertain me if you're into this kind of thing. If not, go ahead and change the channel. And already 4 minutes in here, so anyways, it's titled Foreign Cyber Threats to the United States, hearing before the Committee on Armed Services, United States Senate, 115th Congress, first session, January 5th, 2017. Printed for use of the Committee on Armed Services, graphic not available in TIFF format, and no graphic visuals available for you here. Available via the World Wide Web, www.govinfo.gov. Okay, so this isn't some kind of security. This isn't like top secret stuff here. this is really things that all U.S. voters should be aware of. The committee met pursuant to notice at 9:29 a.m. in room SD Mobile Office Building. Senator John McCain, chairman, presiding. May he rest in peace. An American hero, John McCain. Committee members present: Senators McCain, Ivanhoe, Wicker, Fleischer, Cotton, Rounds, Ernst, Tillis, Sullivan, Graham, Cruz. I don't know how those traitors got on there, but Reed, Nelson, McCaskill, Shahid, Gillibrand, Blumenthal, Donnelly, Hirano, Kane, King, and Heinrich. Other senators present: Senators Perdue, Warren, Peters, and Sassy, maybe. I apologize if I pronounced anyone's name incorrectly. Much respect for these honorable persons, with maybe some minor exclusions of some traitors that took part in the January 6th debacle. Opening statement of Senator John McCain, Chairman. Chairman McCain: well, good morning, everyone. Before we begin, I want to welcome all of our members back to the committee and extend a special welcome to the new members joining us. On the Republican side, we are joined by Senator Perdue and Senator Sassy. On the Democrat side, we are joined by Senator Warren and Senator Peters. It is a special privilege to serve on this committee, most of all because it affords us the opportunity to spend so much time in the company of heroes, the men and women who serve and sacrifice on our behalf every day. I hope we will all come to cherish your service on this committee as much as I have over the years, and I look forward to working with each of you. The committee meets this morning, for the first in a series of hearings on cybersecurity to receive the testimony on foreign cyber threats to the United States. I would like to welcome our witnesses this morning: James Clapper, Director of National Intelligence; Marcel Letry, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence; and Admiral Mike Rogers, Commander of the... Whoops, I lost my place here. Sorry, folks. Let me make this full. I shouldn't have hit that like that. Okay. So I'm just going to skip ahead now. The goal of this review, as I understand it, is not to question the outcome of the presidential election, nor should it be, as both President Obama and President-elect Trump have knowledge of the facts. I trust Director Clapper will brief the Congress on his review when it is completed. This is not the time or place to preview its findings. That said, we know a lot already. In October, our intelligence agencies concluded unanimously that, quote, the Russian government directed compromises of emails from United States persons and institutions, including from the United States political organizations. They also assessed that, quote, disclosures of alleged hacked emails were consistent with the methods and motivations of Russian-directed efforts, and that these thefts and disclosures were intended to interfere with the United States election process. Russia, 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 to quote Trump. Yes, it was Russia. Since then, our intelligence community has released additional information concerning these Russian activities, including a joint analysis report that provides technical details regarding the tools and infrastructure used by the Russian civilian and military intelligence services to attack the United States. Every American should be alarmed by Russia's attacks on our nation. There is no national security interest more vital to the United States of America than the ability to hold free and fair elections without foreign interference. Like the former Soviet agent who's already in our Congress. She moved to America in 2005 and she's already a member of Congress. How did that happen? Oh, no, I'm not racist. I love white women, but she's not an American, so how is she already in our Congress? That's curious. I'm not going to name her name, but anyhow, some dude named Mishi Gray Sky said, oh, he's a racist because he's talking about this. No, I'm just kind of pointing out the fact that, she's from Ukraine, but she's a former Soviet agent. And she studied in the Soviet Union before the Berlin Wall fell. And she's not over in Ukraine fighting off Russian aggression. She's in the United States Congress. How did that happen? Since then, our intelligence community has released additional information concerning his Russian activities. Okay, I already read that part. Ability to hold free and fair elections. That is why Congress must set partisanship aside. That is why Congress must set partisanship aside. Turn off Fox News and RT. Okay? Call these Canadian investors who own Comcast, Xfinity, Cablevision. Just tell them, look, shut Rupert Murdoch down. Cock block him. Don't even let him come on the airwaves inside the United States. Fox News is not good for America or American politics, or the American people, or the environment, or the rights of minorities and lesbians. Every American should be alarmed by Russia's attacks on our nation. There is no national security interest more vital to the United States than the ability to hold free and fair elections without foreign interference. This includes Rupert Murdoch's Chinese wife. To quote Trump, I guess. China, China, China. I can't do a very good impression of Trump, so... China, China, China. I have to put my fake teeth back in and do a Trump impression. As we do, we must recognize that the recent Russian attacks are one part of a much bigger cyber problem. Russian cyber attacks have targeted the White House, the Joint Staff, the State Department, our critical infrastructure. Chinese cyber attacks have reportedly targeted NASA, the Department of State and Commerce, congressional offices, military labs, like where they stole the CRISPR technology and designed the Wuhan virus, COVID-19, the Naval War College, and United States businesses, including major defense contractors, like that Chinese national who was like a chief engineer at Lockheed Martin. Most recently, China compromised over 20 million background investigations at the Office of Personnel Management. That ain't good. No more TikTok. No more TikTok for our military personnel. Sorry. Iran has used cyber tools in recent years to attack the United States Navy, United States partners in the Middle East, major financial institutions, and a dam just 25 miles in New York City. Of course, North Korea was responsible for the massive cyber attack on Sony Pictures in 2014. But, North Korea is not really a hacker guru nation. So the bigger threat is really from Russia, Russian social media manipulation, and Chinese influence in communications and media. What seems clear is that our adversaries have reached a common conclusion: that the reward for attacking America in cyberspace outweighs the risk. For years, again, I'm quoting John McCain here from a Senate hearing. So if you're just now joining us or skipped ahead, I'm quoting John McCain, may he rest in peace, an American hero. What seems clear is our adversaries have reached a common conclusion: that the reward for attacking America in cyberspace outweighs the risks. For years, cyber attacks on our nation have been met with indecision and inaction. Because they got your kiddie porn on there or whatever, or they're trying to blackmail you some other way. We're not going to release your files until you pay us $2 million in Russian gold or whatever. Our nation has no policy and thus no strategy for cyber deterrence. This appearance of weakness has been provocative to our adversaries who have attacked us again and again with growing severity. Unless we demonstrate that the costs of attacking the United States outweigh the perceived benefits, these cyber attacks will only grow, and they grew quite a lot up to the point of January 6th. With help from Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. This is also true beyond the cyber domain. It should not surprise us that Vladimir Putin would think he could launch increasingly severe cyber attacks against our nation when he has paid little price for invading Ukraine, and this was in 2017, invading Ukraine, annexing Crimea, subverting democratic values and institutions across Europe, and of course, helping Bashar Assad slaughter civilians in Syria for more than a year with impunity. The same is true for China, Iran, North Korea, and any other adversary that has recently felt emboldened to challenge the world order. And by world order, I think what they mean is that, you're not supposed to just go around killing people and robbing people. That's order as opposed to the chaos that Russia represents, or the highly structured totalitarianism that China represents. Put simply, we cannot achieve cyber deterrence without restoring the credibility of the United States deterrence more broadly. And so, like I said, Canadian government's going to have to help with that because they own our media. To do so, we must first have a policy, which means finally resolving the long list of basic cyber questions that we as a nation have yet to answer. What constitutes an act of war or aggression in cyberspace that would merit a military response, be it cyber or other means? What is our theory of cyber deterrence, and what is our strategy to implement it? Is our government organized appropriately to handle this threat, or are we so stovepiped that we cannot deal with it effectively? Who is accountable for this problem? And do they have sufficient authorities to deliver results? Are we in Congress just as stovepiped on cyber as the executive branch, such that our oversight actually reinforces problems rather than helping to resolve them? Do we need to change how we are organized? Probably so. Probably so. If these idiot Russians can totally mind control my neighbor and convince him that, you need to go beat up that guy because we think he voted for Hillary. How'd they learn that? Off of Facebook? Yes, it was Facebook. The day after Trump was elected, the cops showed up at my house. No crime had been committed. My neighbor was just pissed off because he thought I voted for Hillary Clinton. I didn't even vote. So, backtrack. This is just confirmation that these are treasonous persons responsible for the entire January 6th debacle. And all of these storm this and storm that, and the trucker storm and storm Area 51 and storm. This is all just fishing expeditions by the Russian intelligence services, who are just not all that intelligent, in my opinion. Personal opinion there. We look forward to hearing the candid views of our distinguished witnesses today who have thought about and worked on these questions as much as anyone in our nation. Senator Reid. This is John McCain. Turn it over to Senator Reid. Statement of Senator Jack Reid. Senator Reid. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to commend you for your leadership in promptly scheduling this hearing on foreign cyber threats. I would also like to welcome our witnesses, Director Clapper, Undersecretary Letry, and Admiral Rogers. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service and your dedication. So, I'm just going to leave it at this. We've only read maybe 1/10 of this Senate hearing. Again, this is public information for those of you who are into the FOIA requests about UFOs and all that. Consider where you're getting your information. Is that news or is that manipulation? Is that reality or is that virtual reality, artificial reality? And you know, CNN too. You know, CNN is kind of riding the fence too. I've seen so-called Democrats also using Russian television propaganda for their political, you know, posturing with respect to their communications to the American public. So, yeah, you know, the politicians up there making laws, you know, y'all need to subject yourselves to your own laws. And, you know, in the olden days, traitors were hung in public. Nowadays, we give them a mansion in Florida. Thanks for listening.